if it's costing you so much energy and time and effort, and you really just want to say no, say no. Because guess what? You say yes. Oh my God, I used to say yes and be bone tired, but I would keep going and going and going and going. Happy Self-Love Sunday, ladies. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that your journeys are going well. I don't know about you, but I am exhausted. Um, Yesterday, my baby of my girls, there was 6 kids altogether, 3 girls and 3 boys. The baby of the girls graduated high school, and I'm just over the top excited. Like it's just such a great feeling when your children accomplish wonderful things like graduating high school, and after the graduation we had our graduation party. So anytime you plan a party, it had to be at my house. With all that's going on in the world, there's not too many venues open, so we did it in my home, in my backyard, and just all week preparing, and then all morning, all night, set up, clean up. Although I even hired a party planner and a caterer who did an outstanding job, and I can't wait to get the pictures and the videos back because we did have a professional photographer come and do pictures, so I can put that out there because it was just amazing what she did with my backyard, because I live in a townhouse and it's more of a shared yard, so it was just wonderful. So I'm exhausted, but I am here and I'm excited today because today I really wanted to have the conversation today about boundaries. I think one of the most important things in our journeys of loving ourselves, healing our past traumas, right? We talk about that a lot in some of our earlier videos, is having boundaries. See, I was the type of person who always wanted to help and never wanted to say no, no matter what it costs me in the long run, right? So I'll just a natural give, just give her. I'm just a giver, right? Um, and just thinking that that's the right way to go. It's like, oh, just give until I have nothing left. My cup was already almost empty because I was never filling myself up. I really wasn't loving myself, loving who I was. And along the journey of learning to love myself and working on healing, and let me just say this, I say work on healing, and I'm always going to say that because healing is a marathon. You will think that you're healed from something, and then something happened and it'll trigger you because it just happened to me, and then you realize, oh, I have a little bit more healing to do. Um, you can't rush healing. But along that, you have boundaries. And boundaries look something like, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to make your party. Boundaries look like, something, I cannot watch your children this week. Listen, I have a wonderful friend who wanted me to come down to his state and stuff to see him for my birthday, and it was just like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do it. And it's like, because I want to do the things that fulfill me, and what I want to do, right? And it's okay to feel that way. Yesterday, we had people, because of the pandemic, decide they didn't want to come to the graduation party because of how they felt about it. And guess what? I was okay with that because that is them having boundaries. And everyone should have them. You cannot keep giving yourself away. You have to say no. And here's the thing, everybody's going to be okay. See, a lot of times we don't say no to people, it's our close friends, family members, because it's like, well, you feel guilty, or you feel like, well, you want somebody to do it for you. But if you're unable to do it, if it's costing you so much energy and time and effort, and you really just want to say no, say no. Because guess what? You say yes. Oh my God, I used to say yes and be bone tired, but I would keep going and going and going and going. And then something would happen with me, and I would need someone, and I would need help or need this to be done. There's no one around, and no one to be found. And I was thinking to myself, well, I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that. Well, just because you don't have boundaries and other people do, right? Like you can't be mad at that. And you also can't do for people with the hopes of, well, I do this because I want somebody to do this for me. How about just do it for yourself? Fill your tank up. Have boundaries. Say no. Understand that people, listen, people have to be responsible for their own emotions. And when you first start doing it, it's going to be hard. I remember the first time I started saying no to my granddaughter. I started saying no to friends. I started saying no to family. They didn't know how to take it. And then it goes into this manipulation kind of thing. Well, well, you always did this, and oh, she's acting funny now, right? You get those kind of things, and it's like, no, I'm not acting funny. I'm setting standards for myself. I'm setting expectations, and I'm setting boundaries, and that is what you're supposed to do. And then I started to get into me more, and I started to fill me up. And that's not to say I don't still do for people. I do. But now I have boundaries to say if I'm tired and I can't do it, I can't do it. If I can't make it, I can't make it. I'm not childish with it. I don't just ignore people. No, I just say, you know what, I'm sorry, I can't make it. And guess what? They have to deal with their emotions. And, they'll, even if they try to pull me or say, well, I really needed this, I really needed that. I'm sorry, I can't. That's just that. And they have to go off and be responsible for whatever emotion they feel, and I'm going to be responsible for mine. But the one emotion I'm not going to feel anymore is guilt. I'm not going to feel guilty that I'm bone tired because I'm a mom of 5 kids and I'm running around and I'm going here and I'm going there, and I can't help somebody that day. I can't feel guilty about that. Sometimes when you have a minute, you have to take that minute just to take in with you. For example, after I threw my daughter's party, I said, today I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. You know, I don't care who's having what. I don't care who's doing what. I'm staying home and I'm resting and I'm relaxing. And that's okay. You have to take charge of your life, set boundaries with people. The reason why your children, your friends, your significant other is running amok is because you're allowing it. Set boundaries. Say no. They're going to be okay. When I tell my kids no, they're okay. They may throw a little tantrum in the beginning, right? And we straighten that tantrum out. I don't care. You can fall over the floor. The answer still is no. I'm going to walk over you while you're on the floor having that whole fit and keep it moving and go do whatever it is that I needed to get done because that answer still is no. You're not going to manipulate me into saying yes. You're not going to usually, emotionally, like it's like you get this tears and it's like, oh, you don't really care about, I don't care what you say. The answer is still no. It is what it is, right? You have to set the boundary. And then once I started setting them, let me tell you something, things change. People now know that they can't call me for any and everything and pick up all of their pieces all the time. And there's nothing wrong. I'm going to say there's nothing wrong with helping people. There's nothing wrong with being there, being a great friend. I think all of that is wonderful. But if it costs you, if you're mentally and emotionally and financially exhausted from helping, that's not healthy. It really isn't. And you might want to check yourself. You might want to check the reasons you're doing it. 9 times out of 10, if you're doing it because you've had some traumatic situation in your past or you didn't, there's some childhood trauma there where you're always vying and pushing and pulling and paying for love and attention. You might want to just sit back with that. Think about that for a second. If you're giving unconditionally from your heart, and I think that's beautiful without any expectations of things in return. That's beautiful. But if you're giving with the expectation of one day, I want somebody to do this for me, no, no. It's time for you to sit back and really evaluate that. You might want to get into some more healing and get into you. Set boundaries with people. Stop allowing people to run your life, run over you, use you. And guess what? They do all of that and they go on to have this wonderful life and you're sitting one day by yourself needing help, needing someone to talk to, needing someone to be there for you. and there is no one. And then you don't even know how to be there for you because you've neglected yourself. You don't even know why you feel the way you feel. You can't even get into you. You don't even understand your triggers. You don't understand because you haven't had the time because you're so busy helping, being there for everybody else. I'm your girl. I'm your cheerleader. I'm this. Listen, take it from someone who had almost a complete nervous breakdown because I gave so much of myself away, so much of myself away. I had nothing left for me. Nothing. Now that I fill myself up, I think, and I laugh and I smile because I've grown so much as a person. I've grown so much as a woman. I've created boundaries in my life, and guess what? I allow people to be responsible for their emotions, and I'm responsible for mine. But now I understand when I'm triggered. Now I understand why I'm feeling the way I feel, and I can articulate that, right? Now the things that I want people to do for me, I do for myself. And not saying that I'm not going to accept, things into my life from other people. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm not looking for them to fill me up. I'm not looking for anyone to fulfill those holes that are within me anymore. I'm filling them. So when they come, it's overflow. What people do for me now when they come, it's like I'm overflowing with love at that point. I'm not looking for them to fill my voids. I'm not looking for them to fill. No one can do it. No one can do that. I wish people would understand that moment. No one can fill you. You have to fill yourself. So when people come there, overflow. So let's start setting these healthy boundaries. Let's start saying no when we really want to say no. If you really want to say yes, it's okay. But when you really want to say no and you're saying yes, stop doing that to yourself. And then stop beating yourself up after you do it. No, whatever you need to do, if you need to rest, if you need to read, if you need to get with a life coach, hi, Tarnisha here, life coach, reach out to me. Or you need to get with a therapist to work on you, to concentrate on you. So all that love that you're desperately seeking, you start to give to yourself and you start to attract it more. Do that. Set those healthy boundaries. Moe Sass Fitness LLC, MOE Fitness LLC at gmail.com. Reach out to me. Let's talk. Let me help you get on the other side because there's so much beauty over here. Yes, I'm still healing. Yes, I'm still on my journey, but I've overcome so much and so many hurdles. And now I know how to consistently work on me and still fill myself up to receive that overflow of love that I always receive from people. So let's talk. Let's get ourselves there. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, Moe Sass Fitness LLC. Check me out. You'll see me in real life. You get to see how I am with my children. I share everything. About myself so you get to see I'm a real person. So check me out. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and I will talk to you next week.